Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Warren Brown, and I would like to thank each of you for checking in with me today during these historic and challenging times. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to discuss with you the current state of our county, our community, and our country. I want you to know that I'm proud to live and to work in Archuleta County. I'm proud to be a Republican, and I'm proud to be an American. And I'm asking you to join me in making Archuleta County an even better place to live and to work as your next County Commissioner in District 1. Today, I would like to share my plan with you in helping to make Archuleta County that kind of place. If you will indulge me, I would like to know how you think we're doing as a county and as a community by asking you a few questions. Now, I'm not asking you to answer these questions. I just want you to think about these questions in your mind and what answer comes to your mind once I've asked these questions of you. Are you satisfied with the conditions of our roadways? Are you satisfied with our broadband or our cell phone coverage? Are you satisfied with the current state of our community anchor institutions, to include our schools, our medical facilities, or our county buildings? Are you satisfied with the level of service that you receive from the county, to include our local driver's license office, or our recycling or landfill hours and accessibility? Are you confident that our tourism industry will remain strong and continue to support our local economy? Are you confident that Archuleta County receives our fair share of funding regionally, from the state, and federally? Now, the reasons I'm asking you these questions in part is because these are the questions that I considered when deciding whether or not to run for Archuleta County Commissioner. Now, obviously, I don't know what your answers are to my questions, but I can tell you what my answers are to every one of these questions, and that is, I think we can do better. I would ask you to consider this, that if you've answered that you are not satisfied or confident in more than one of the questions that I've asked, we may have a systemic problem. I believe the day-to-day challenges with maintaining and replacing our buildings or our infrastructure, our continual struggle with trying to bring enough broadband in to cover our tourism and locals alike, what seems to be our perpetual last place finish for funding, and our challenges with leveraging enough water to support the kind of growth that we are experiencing are just symptoms of the actual systemic problem. And that problem is Archuleta County does not have a plan. We do not have a short-term, a mid-term, or a long-term plan. Now, let that sink in for just a moment. And while you ponder these facts, let me ask you this. Where do you see Archuleta County in 5 or 10 years? I predict, absent any appreciable and timely change in the way that we are doing things, I see Archuleta County in about the same place we are today, which is likely to be about the same place that we were the last 10 to 15 years, and possibly longer. Folks, let me say this. The way I see it, a couple of our current county commissioners have been left holding the proverbial bag as a result of decisions made years ago. It appears to me historically that our past leaders were faced with paying it now or paying it later decisions. It also appears to me that consistently the answer that came from our county commissioners was pay it later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is later. And as a board, we need to be able to make the best decisions for the benefit of our county and our community. I believe the time is overdue for our Board of County Commissioners to collaboratively work with our other elected officials, our town government, and our community stakeholders to create a strategic plan. So we have a roadmap to follow that will get us on the right track and keep us on the right track. Leadership is not easy, but it is the responsibility of our elected officials and of our Board of County Commissioners. I think Ben Franklin is credited with saying, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. How many of you have been responsible for getting kids to their Little League games, or dance class, or 4-H meeting at some point in your life? Or, better yet, how many of us have been camping for an extended holiday weekend, such as the 4th of July? If you're like me and my family, we plan far in advance. We know where we're going, and we'll even drive a vehicle or pitch a tent in our camping area, if it's legal. If it's not, we didn't do it, to make sure that no one comes in and takes our spot. We make packing lists for food, fuel, clothes, horse trailers, fishing poles, and all of the assorted essentials, so we're ready to go when the time comes. I would suggest that more advanced planning has taken place for our long holiday weekend that has taken place to ensure the needs and well-being of our county. The bottom line, folks, is we need to plan. Now, I know Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So let me be the first to tell you that I recognize and I admit I plan on getting punched in the mouth as the next county commissioner in District 1. I know everything won't work, but some of it will. And as a result, Archuleta County is going to be a better place to live and to work the next day and the next day and the next. I believe we can do better simply by creating, implementing, and following a 3 to 5 year strategic plan. With a plan in place, we will be able to responsibly determine our priorities, gauge our progress on a regular basis, and we will have a known beginning, a known route, and a known ending point with planned expenditures along the way. Having a plan is only part of what we desperately need. Once we have a plan, we must regularly communicate that plan at every level within the county and to the public, the very people that we serve. With a strategic plan in place that is communicated, we will be better able to responsibly manage and develop our infrastructure to include our roadways, our broadband, our water needs, and our community structures. We will be able to plan for upgrades to all of these infrastructure needs far more better than scrambling to stay afloat. With a strategic plan in place, we will be better positioned to have an active and meaningful role on the seats that we occupy at our local, our regional, and our state levels, to build and develop new relationships and to maintain our valued and historic relationships that we have worked so hard on over the years, and to keep Archuleta County relevant in the discussions that are being had so our community's needs are better known and better met in a more timely fashion. With a strategic plan, we will be better able to pursue and attract a greater spectrum of businesses that match the fiber of our community and complement our tourism base, so we may be more able to responsibly diversify our tax base. Now, there are 2 other candidates and others waiting in the wings for the county commissioner position in District 1. So what sets me apart? With a background in business, I've had to create, maintain, and reevaluate a business plan for years. I know the financial necessities of planning, and I also know the county's current situation. As a law enforcement officer for almost 27 years, I can tell you that I am the only candidate for county commissioner in District 1 who has served as a planning section chief for years, responding to real life-threatening situations of all sizes and kinds, as well as responding and planning for events to include parades, epidemic responses, and evacuations. I know firsthand the benefits to a community of having a well-thought-out plan and the devastating impact of not having a plan at all. I am the only candidate for Archuleta County whom you currently trust with the management of your tax dollars. As the operations commander for the Sheriff's Office, I manage a budget of approximately $1.5 million for several years, and I've come in at or under budget every year. In fact, I'm the only candidate whom you trust with your very life. I know what I'm saying resonates with each one of you. And it resonates with you because I'm the only candidate with a plan that makes sense. I'm the only candidate with a real background in business management and real life planning experience. And I'm the only candidate in Archuleta County for Commissioner in District 1 with the courage and the willingness to do things differently than the way that it's always been done. Today, I'd like to leave you with this. I believe as a Republican Party, we are either collectively growing or we're collectively dying. Now think about your fellow Republicans that you know. How many young faces do you see? I'm asking you what we can do to inspire the next generation of Archuleta County Republicans to take a stand for the values that we hold so dear and to get involved. I believe we have some work ahead of us. First and foremost, we need to take back our children. We need to take and keep control of our county so we can take control of our state back. We need to make sure that real Colorado values and ideals are reflected in Colorado. As a nation, where are we headed? What can we do at our local levels to ensure that our beliefs in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness endures for generations to come? I believe with my whole heart, if the ordinary and good people like us who live in our small towns, within our great cities, and within our vast counties, take it upon ourselves to no longer be the silent majority and come together as a community, as Americans, to protect our children and all of our freedoms guaranteed us by the Constitution of the United States of America, we will continue to be the greatest country in the history of mankind. I'm Warren Brown, and I know together that we can do great things. And I would appreciate your support and your assistance in becoming the next Archuleta County Commissioner in District 1. Thank you, and be safe.